Hey guys, we may have a pretty busy day going on today. We have a Gemini Moon coming into a conjunction with Mercury. This could be bringing up lots of ideas and communications and information and conversations going back and forth about things. There is also a sense of electricity in the air this week, you guys. This is our week where we are going to be having our sun come into a conjunction with the planet Uranus. So we may be on the brink of some big and rather unexpected changes that may be unfolding astrologically, energetically, and therefore tangibly on the ground in our experience this week. So we got a lot of energy to talk about starting our week. Let's jump into the report and see what's coming at us. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Monday, May 2nd, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. First of all, we are at another 222 day. 5-2-22. 5 is a number that can bring some dynamic change. We just began our new moon in Taurus cycle that was in a conjunction to Uranus. The sun is also going to be coming into a conjunction with Uranus this week. We may be in a period of some dynamic change going on this week and going on perhaps next week as well, as we are heading towards our full moon in the signs of Taurus and Scorpio. But getting it started, first week into our new moon in Taurus, the second day began on, the new moon was on the 30th, and here we are on May 2nd, 5-2-2-2. So again, opening the energetics this week, I feel like this is indicating, based on the numerology present, that this week is actually going to be pretty significant in our energetic transition into the age of Aquarius. We've been noticing that when we've been having these sequences of twos popping up in the numerology in one way or another alongside the astrological aspects, that chart, that day has a tendency of representing some type of significant transit, some type of significant energetic lesson or growth or momentum that is helping to propel us forward along this energetic shift. In terms of our paradigm shift that we have going on right now in this incoming age of Aquarius that we are very much moving forward into in this energy. So again, I feel like today is probably another one of those more significant energetic days in this shift. And it's also interesting because we have today the moon in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, going to be coming into an exact conjunction with Mercury, who is also in Gemini right now. And also, you guys, this is our first moon in Gemini in 9 months that has not simultaneously been triggering the black moon. The black moon recently completed her transit through the sign of Gemini, which was being triggered and activated whenever the moon came into the signs of Gemini or Sagittarius over this past 9-month cycle, and was really a lot of times bringing up some like self-doubts or just some worries or some more limiting thoughts and viewpoints and perspectives, some more shadow side mental energy that we have been trying to clear over that 9-month transit. But now we have graduated from our lesson plan in Gemini and Sagittarius black moon energy, and the black moon has moved into the sign of Cancer, now triggering the Cancer Capricorn axis. So this is our first go around since the black moon leaving the sign of Gemini, which is giving us our first Gemini moon while Mercury is there also in 9 months, that has not also been sort of being perceived through an emotional lens of shadow side issues as well. So the mind perhaps a little bit on fire today. The moon in Gemini lining with Mercury, ruler of Gemini, in the sign of Gemini. This could bring some really busy energy, that information, talking, conversations, communications, messages coming through, news, things that we're learning, things that we're overhearing, things that we're seeing, encounters that we're having with other people, things going back and forth, like places we need to be, people we need to talk to, things we need to do. We could have a long list to accomplish today, and things could just generally be very, very busy, very communicative, very changeable as well. Feeling Mercury, Gemini, this is a mutable sign. There's some changes happening this week, you guys, and it's being represented as well by the moon coming into Gemini today to start our week and forming the conjunction to Mercury. So there could be a lot of news and information incoming in the context also of this new moon cycle that we are in right now, and also the sun coming into a conjunction with Uranus this week, the great awakening planet, really could be potentially waking up to some things. And again, this is without the filter of this self-doubt or these self-limiting beliefs or this subconscious programming that may have been interfering with our faith in our ideas and our ability to actually like see things clearly. I think that we're really going to start to see some things clearly at this point in time. Although Mercury will be going retrograde soon, Pluto's going to be going retrograde soon as well. So we're going to have a retrograde to deal with coming up here. But for now, for today, with Mercury still direct and the moon coming into Gemini, aligning with Mercury, this could definitely just be bringing up, this is very fast-paced energy as well. Especially with the sun coming into conjunction with Uranus. Things could just be like flying today, like information flying through the air, information flying out of our mouth. We may want to sort of make sure that we are thinking before we speak today in this energy as well, and not sort of just be very like impulsive in what is coming out of our mouth. That may be a tendency with the sun also coming into the conjunction with Uranus, but overall, very busy energy. This combination as well, Mercury and the moon coming together in Gemini, and also the sun coming into alignment with Uranus this week, could bring some very high anxiety, nervous energy, nervous tension. Uranus is like off the chains in sort of like the very fast-paced, high vibrational energy. It can a lot of times translate into that more anxious, nervous energy. And also Mercury and Gemini share a lot of those same qualities. And with the moon coming into Gemini today, the sun lining with Mercury and the sun in Taurus coming into alignment with Uranus, this specific combination could just sort of have us like feeling like we are thinking or moving sort of like too fast for ourselves to keep up with, kind of in this energy, like what's coming out of our mouth, what we're saying, you know, what we're trying to communicate, the ideas that we're having, sort of like coming so fast that maybe we're having like a hard time keeping up with them or staying grounded a little bit in this energy, especially, you know, even though the sun and Uranus are in the sign of Taurus, the sign that's very grounded, a very grounded earth sign. This is still Uranus in that sign. So it could be sort of shaking up the ground we're standing on a little bit and just creating more of this nervous energy. This is also, though, you guys, like excellent problem solving energy. Solutions are coming in this energy, and they're coming in a way that really like that we feel aligned with on like that gut intuitive emotional level as well, with it being the moon, our emotions, our feelings, our internal environment that is coming into this alignment with Mercury. This is an emotional and a mental fusion going on, intertwinement, integration. What we're feeling inside and what we're thinking in our mind, very much so on the same page in this energy, and it could have a lot to do with things that we are waking up to now, adjustments that we are making, big changes that are happening that are sort of like, again, like shaking perhaps like the ground that we're standing on in one way or another. But with Uranus in the picture, Uranus is the great rectifier. Uranus puts things right. The changes that are happening now are happening in divine alignment, as we are also in eclipse season. The nodes of the moon are being very activated right now as well. And Uranus puts things back on track, puts things right, especially in Taurus, in alignment with the truth of the authentic growth that is really like held inside. And it really wants to help us unlock the potential within us and from a very like authentic place and rise into that. But if we are off course in any type of a way, this is the energy where things may be changing drastically, very suddenly, to get us back on that path where we can really sprinkle and water our own flower and bring it to life, bring it to full bloom in the context of the Sabian symbol where the new moon in Taurus occurred, and that was a woman sprinkling long rows of flowers. So we are growing something, you guys, this cycle. We are seeding our dreams into reality, and we are manifesting, and we are growing, and we are healing, and we are trying to become and to align with the best, most authentic versions of ourselves so that we can really activate this destiny, activate this potential in this eclipse season with the nodes being activated right now, and move down a path that is going to lead ultimately in this 222 year to our ability to attract and magnetize and align with our soul's truest fulfillment, essentially. And with what is truly in the nature of our heart. Remember, we have just had this massive Venus, Neptune, Jupiter alignment as well, which is really, in my opinion, trying to open up and recalibrate the heart-based frequency of the collective of humanity. So it's like we are stepping into this new heart-based frequency and energy that we're coming into right now, really sort of like an emotional maturation that has been going on as well. And we are gaining this information now, and we are lining up with perhaps some awakenings or some radical shifts, some radical changes for the purpose of getting us back on course with what can truly help us align with the things that can bring us that sense of true fulfillment moving forward in throughout this 222 year and into the age of Aquarius as well. So again, today's energy is indicating to me another crucial step in our transitional process on a very energetic level into the age of Aquarius. So problem-solving energy very high today as well. Things may sort of be solving themselves and falling into place. And again, like there could be these shifts going on sort of suddenly out of the blue, but ultimately they will be the silver lining. It's like blessings in disguise, and things are being shifted and rearranged right now in a way to really lead to a much more conducive path to our growth and development and towards our highest potential moving forward. This is also very, very good energy that we have going on today for business and for sales and for negotiating, stuff like that with the Moon and Mercury coming together. This is like very, very good, like sales pitch type energy. And with Venus still in a conjunction to Jupiter as well, this brings luck and blessings in like investments, especially like financial investments and stuff like that right now. So very good energy. And Mercury in Gemini also rule like the mercantile, like merchants and businesses and transactions and things going back and forth. So with Jupiter and Neptune still or Jupiter and Venus, sorry, I'm not sure if I said that before, but I meant Jupiter and Venus still in a conjunction today, and the Moon aligning with Mercury in Gemini with no black moon there, and also the Sun coming into the conjunction with Uranus. Things are being rearranged right now. We are seeing the truth of things. We are seeing things from a whole new perspective, perhaps in a lot of ways. And this is very good energy for any type of like business negotiations or business deals or sales or also investments and stuff like that. So that's a good thing that we have going on to start this week. And again, this week could definitely be bringing some of that shocking news and information in regards to these Taurus themes. Stability, resources, food, supply chains, finances, economies, the projects that we're working on, partnerships, work relationships, and also like interpersonal dynamics and just relationships generally. All of these Taurus themes, things that we are growing and trying to bring to fruition right now as well. We may receive some type of like divine clarity or solutions coming through in this energy that help us to rearrange the things that we're working on right now as well in a way that can lead to this success that Venus and Jupiter represent as well, especially with Venus being the ruler of the Taurus cycle that we are in right now in the placement of the Sun and Uranus in the sign of Taurus. It's like with the Sun and Uranus coming together in the sign of Taurus and Venus and Jupiter still being together right now, especially today in the sign of Pisces. Now, Venus will leave Pisces tomorrow and enter Aries, Mars' sign. But for today, she's still exalted in Pisces with Jupiter only 1 degree orb off. So things that are transpiring, things that are shooken up, realignments that are happening now are happening actually to bring us some type of expansion or growth or blessings in love and money. It's just the way that it's playing out. And this is also bringing like a much greater expanded sense of peace. Balance is trying to be restored in these things. So whatever Uranus and the Sun may be doing together this week is ultimately trying to restore the peace, restore balance, and bring again an expanded sense or a growth in positivity in regards to love, money, financial circumstances, work relationships, work partnerships, some type of way. So things are being rearranged this week, you guys, in a way that is ultimately going to benefit us somehow. It's also interesting because today, Monday, the position of the Sun that we have going on is at 13 degrees of Taurus. And that Sabian symbol is a porter carrying a heavy mountain of baggage. And so I feel like the position of the Sun today as well is actually talking about us like releasing a burden at this point in time, like handing the burden off to universe. And with the sun and Uranus coming together and Jupiter and Venus together and Mercury and the moon together, it really may be, you know, like this galactic realignment that is going on right now is actually working to lift our burden, to ease our burden, to take a load off of us in some type of a way so that we can move forward towards this growth in terms of the projects that we're working on, the creative ideas that we have, what we're trying to create and bring into this reality right now, what we're seeding, the dreams that we are seeding into reality in this process, and the potential for the very successful and beneficial outcomes of them. Whatever is falling away, you guys, right now, we need to surrender to it, especially, again, being in this eclipse window with the north and the south nodes being activated by the new moon cycle that is happening right now in the same sign where the north node and the oppositional sign where the south node are. So we surrender to what is falling away right now with the faith and the trust. Jupiter and Venus in the sign of Pisces, ruling faith and the spiritual world, the spiritual planes, the invisible planes of reality, our connection to higher source and higher power and the divine. We surrender what is leaving right now with the faith that what is coming in is really going to bring some positive and beneficial growth to what's going on with us inside of our heart and what's going on with our finances in a lot of ways as well. And again, with Mercury and the moon in Gemini in this emotional or in this alignment today, there is a mental and emotional alignment that is like underpinning whatever is going on today. So we're releasing the burden, you guys. Things are being rearranged in a way to lighten our load so that we can realign with this heart-based frequency and start to really embrace and receive the gifts, Jupiter, the Santa Claus planet, that universe is trying to bring to us right now, again, in forms of love, relationships, money, creativity, projects, and things that can ultimately bring us a sense of peace and harmony and stability and security and balance going on within us and in our external world as well. So all of this to start our week, pretty positive note. I do feel, again, I feel like this Taurus cycle is going to be really showing us our growth in a lot of ways and helping us to grow in a lot of ways in the direction of what is going to truly bring us that fulfillment going forward. And there's also a very strong sense of reflection going on. And again, like, it's interesting today, there's this sense of reflection, inner reflection on what we've grown in the past and what we want to do going forward, what we want to grow going forward throughout this Taurus cycle. And with Mercury and the moon coming into an alignment today, we really may be reflecting inwardly on where we're at right now and coming to this place, like coming to sort of like a set alignment in terms of the way that we want to take things going forward. And very, again, just busy energy and vibration, say very fast paced, very high speed, very like electric in the sensations all week. We may just feel like feel like something's coming. Like, you know, when you're sort of like the hair on the back of your neck stands up and you're just like, I feel like something's about to happen. Like, that may be a general vibe that's sort of coming through all week with the sun coming into the conjunction with Uranus, because that's what Uranus does. Uranus makes things happen in a lot of times a very dynamic way. And we are starting this week 5-2-2-2 dynamic change in this 2-2-2 process, moving us towards and through this Taurus cycle that is, I feel, trying to really help get the ball rolling in terms of aligning us with these divine connections, these opportunities, these miracles that are a reflection, again, this reflective idea that we have playing out this month as well, of the changes that we've been making internally. And that is another major theme of this 222 year. So we're being activated yet again today, you guys. The next thing that I want to say, which I've already mentioned quite a bit, is we do still have Venus and Jupiter in a conjunction. They are 1 degree off now. Venus has moved to 30 degrees of Pisces. Jupiter is at 29 degrees of Pisces. Venus at the very last degree of the sign of Pisces. Tomorrow, going to be moving into the sign of Aries. And again, I feel like this could really be about to light the spark on something, especially in regards to these relationship, financial pursuits, dynamics, partnerships, all of that type of stuff. Very inspired and like lightning speed, fast energy this week. And now we have Venus also on the brink of moving into Aries tomorrow, which is going to be perhaps lighting a fire under us in terms of pursuing the things that we really desire and that we have been envisioning and fantasizing about and idealizing throughout Venus's entire transit through the sign of Pisces, especially in the conjunction with Neptune. So we have that going on. Now let's talk about the Sabian symbols today. That really is pretty much, how the aspects are playing out just in terms of the aspects themselves. The moon in Gemini coming to the conjunction with Mercury today. The sun is at 13 degrees of Taurus. Uranus is at 15 degrees of Taurus. So we are 2 degrees out right now. This exact conjunction will be on Wednesday. And then Venus in the 1 degree orb off conjunction to Jupiter, discharging the very last degree of Pisces. So that's the transits. Now let's talk about the Sabians for just a couple of minutes. As I said, the sun today is at 13 degrees of Taurus, a porter carrying a heavy mountain of baggage. And to me, this is sort of talking about the load being lifted, us sort of passing off the burdens that we've been carrying to higher power, in conjunction with the sun coming into alignment with Uranus and these shifts that are perhaps about to take place in order to really liberate us and free us. Again, that is what Uranus ultimately does as well in the Aquarian energy that Uranus represents. It's about freedom. It frees us. It liberates us from anything that has been keeping us from seeing the truth or embodying the truth of our own authenticity. So there's definitely a sense of liberation that is coming with this as well. And I mean, it makes sense. Like when we are off course, when we are off track with things, what Uranus does is it comes in and it fixes things and it puts things right and liberates us to move in a new direction, more in alignment with our authentic truth. So that is what is going on. And with the sun discharging this degree today to open this week with these transits in this 5222 day, I feel like this is sort of a shift from us sort of shouldering the burdens on our own to us coming to a point where we are surrendering those burdens to God and the divine and just accepting the changes that are taking place and allowing what needs to fall away and embracing, receiving, and accepting the new trajectory that may be presenting itself to us at this point in time. We also have the Earth today at 13 degrees of Scorpio. That Sabian symbol is an inventor performs a laboratory experiment. And this is also a very, very Uranian degree. An inventor would totally be ruled by Uranus as well as experiments. And so it's like, the state of things on the ground today, I feel like we are in the process of reinventing ourselves. And it may feel a little bit like an experiment at this point in time, like surrendering this burden and embracing our truth and seeing things for what they really are and allowing the shifts to happen and having the faith and trust that we are going to go down this path guided by our intuition that really truly feels like it's in alignment with our heart and our soul. And, like we may not know exactly how that outcome will go or how it will turn out in the end, but with Uranus going on and with Jupiter and Neptune together, I can tell you there's probably going to be a beautiful outcome of this experiment. But again, this is very much referencing Uranus's involvement in all of this and this galactic experiment that is happening in our transition of ages right now. So I feel like in this period of time, we are surrendering our burdens to the universe and the divine and simultaneously really, experimenting with perhaps reinventing ourselves in one way or another, trying something different, seeing ourselves through a new lens and holding ourselves to a different standard and maybe just, wanting to give it a shot and see how things go. So I also feel like this Sabian lines up pretty close with what we have unfolding today in the energy and moving into this week as well. We have Mercury today in the conjunction with the moon at 3 degrees of Gemini. That Sabian symbol is the Garden of the Tuileries in Paris. And so to me, honestly, this I feel like is talking about perhaps some upsets in the status quo quo this week, the Garden of the Tuileries in Paris. This to me is sort of aligning with the Taurus themes that we have going on, and like the Taurus archetypes, the Garden of the Tuileries in Paris and the Sun in Taurus coming into a conjunction with Uranus, Mercury at this degree. I feel like this is indicating there could be some information coming through today, some news, some communications about some type of upset that may be going on to like a long established status quo, or an image of something. This could be breaking down images or false perceptions of things as well, with Mercury at this degree today and the other things that we have present going on in this sky as well. We have Venus today, 30 degrees of Pisces, the last degree of Pisces, preparing to move into Aries tomorrow. This is actually the longest Sabian symbol of all of the Sabian symbols of the 360 degrees. This Sabian symbol is a majestic rock formation resembling a face, is idealized by a boy who takes it as his ideal of greatness, and as he grows, begins to look like it. So I feel like with Venus at this degree today, this is sort of talking about us coming to a point simultaneously in the midst of all of this other energy where we are reprioritizing and recreating what our values are, what our ideals of greatness are, what we want to align with and become, moving forward through this very strong manifestation, seeding dreams into reality energy. I feel like this is talking about us sort of having a new, grander view of what we truly want to experience for ourselves, and the ideals and the values and the value within us that we are aligning with right now, and what potential that has for us forming ourselves into an image of our own greatness moving forward in this energy, which is what this two year is doing, which is what this shift into the age of Aquarius is doing. Because remember, the age of Aquarius, this is the age of self-knowledge, self-empowerment, self-enlightenment, self-mastery, co-creation with God and universe, being able to form our reality into our own ideals of greatness. And Venus is at this degree today in the conjunction with Jupiter, expanding things, and also, you know, moving through this very profound Taurus cycle, being in eclipse season right now, these fated activations, divinely timed alignments coming into play. And with Venus at this degree, I just feel like it's talking about we are ready to start embodying a new ideal of greatness that we are aligning ourselves with at this point in time. We also have Jupiter, 29 degrees of Pisces. That Sabian symbol is light breaking into many colors as it passes through a spectrum. As it passes through a prism, So I feel like this is as a result of us being able to see the full spectrum of things, us being able to see the breakdown of all that's been going on, us truly being able to see things through a new light, through a new image, a new color, a new lens of perception that is really like encompassing the full spectrum of experience and the wisdom that we've gained up until this point in time. So all of that going on in terms of the placement of the planets today via the Sabian symbols as well. So when we put it all together, it's really like, you know, we are releasing these burdens and surrendering the things that we've been carrying, the loads that we've been carrying to the divine as we, you know, perhaps experiment with reinventing ourselves in one way or another. And this may be upsetting the status quo or the image that we've become comfortable in presenting publicly, but we are seeing the full spectrum of things right now, and we are really seeing the breakdown of our previous experiences and how they led us to where we're at now, and really seeing things like in a very expanded new light, which perhaps is causing us to align our values and our priorities with a whole new ideal of greatness and what we wish to achieve, what we want to become, what we want to embody, and what we want to grow into for this next phase of life, moving forward through this year and also into this new age, this age of Aquarius that we are very, very like rapidly immersing ourselves in this year. So that's what we have going on for the Sabian symbols today in conjunction to the aspects. Again, very busy day, perhaps some electricity in the air, perhaps some very anxious, like high energy, nervous energy going on. It may be a little bit hard to stay grounded or to sleep in this energy. We may just feel like a little bit of like, just that like feeling inside, like something's about to happen. But we are in eclipse season and we do have the sun coming into conjunction with Uranus. So there likely is something to be happening. But with Venus and Jupiter together again, it is for the purpose of actually helping to bring us some type of blessing or growth in love or money or just our heart space or the way that we are relating, or in terms of our creative pursuits or artistic stuff and all of those type of things. Abundance generally at this point in time, finances, partnerships, work relationships, all of that. Problem solving energy for sure. There could just be some divine solutions coming in. Tons of information is very likely great for sales, business, negotiating, that type of stuff. And also surprising or shocking or news or realignments going on along these Taurus themes, plus what is coming through with the Sabians. So that's basically what we got going on with our astrology energy today to start our week, to start this first official week of our Taurus new moon cycle, seeding dreams into reality and really reflecting on where we're at now, where we want to go and become and grow into going forward. Now let's talk about the tarot cards that came out this morning. Tarot time, everybody. Shuffling the deck this morning, asking God, Spirit, Universe, please show me some symbolism through the tarot cards to describe the collective energy, where we're at right now, and any messages that maybe we need to know to help navigate this energy better. We got a bunch of cards coming out today. It's actually interesting. We got 5 cards coming out of the deck today for our 5th month, this 5222 day. So there's another little numerological ping, perhaps. Again, 5222, dynamic changes in relation to relationships, commitments, connections, financial situations, projects that we're working on, that is actually helping us to align with versions of these things that are going to bring us such a greater level of fulfillment, like true soul and heart-based fulfillment moving forward. Dynamic changes going on. But anyways, the cards that came out today, there's a lot of newness and fresh energy that is being represented in these cards. The first card that came out was the Page of Pentacles. The second card that came out was the King of Cups, you guys. And then we got the Seven of Wands. And then we got the Page of Wands. And then we got the Ace of Cups. And on the back of the deck, we had the Ace of Wands. So we had 2 aces, 2 pages, and then a King of Cups and a Seven of Wands. So starting at the beginning, basically what I feel like this is saying is that it's time, you guys. The opportunities that, the things that we wish to grow and to form and to manifest are really in the palm of our hand at this point in time. Like, we really have a lot of potential to seed the intentions and the goals and the wishes and the projects that we want to work on and grow at this point in time. Very fertile environment for bringing them into fruition. And it is because we are coming to a place of emotional self-mastery, emotional self-discipline, emotional self-control, being in our states of emotional empowerment, having very strong boundaries, not allowing ourselves to be emotionally manipulated in any sense of way, and really standing in the truth of our own feelings, of our clarity that we're coming to, this mental and emotional alignment coming today, really putting us sort of in the power of our own feelings and allowing that to really be sort of like a mechanism that helps us to actually push forward and to keep going and to like resist any temptation to like quit or to lay down. Like, we are really pushing forward towards these new pursuits based in passion, based in like an authentic alignment with our like potential and the resources that we have within us, and really like considering if we can really take action towards them. Look at this guy. It's got me feeling and thinking about the position of the Earth today, the inventor performing a laboratory experiment. Like, he's very much like he's looking at and envisioning in very, like, his eyes are on the staff. Like, he's sort of thinking about, like, what actions he can take, what he can do with it, the power that he has to execute something, really pondering it and believing in himself as well with this page energy. And then the last card that we had coming out, the Ace of Cups, for this new emotional start, these new connections, these divine alignments, this fresh emotional pursuit that we may be on right now as well, this fresh perspective in terms of the feelings that we have and the ideals of greatness that we want to pursue, or our values and what we truly love and cherish and desire for ourselves right now at this point in time. And then with the Ace of Wands also coming up on the back, there is a divine inspiration that is sort of motoring and fueling this entire thing. Like, there's this force of, like, new, inspired, passionate, heart-based energy that is also coming through and is acting as, like, sort of like a driving factor, the motivating mechanism behind these experiments or this reinvention of ourselves at this point in time that we may be going on, and also the context of the Sabian symbols of the energy today. So, again, with all of these aces and with these pages and then with these two cards in the middle, I feel like these fresh starts that we are on the brink of or that are coming to us right now really, really have a lot to do with this emotional maturity that we have come to, the sense of emotional empowerment that we may have come to over this past Pisces cycle, essentially, when we also had Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune together, and even just Neptune and Jupiter together in the sign of Pisces. Like, this really is a spiritual awakening, like a conscious awakening, like a conscious and spiritual evolution as well, and recalibrating that heart-based frequency with Venus there, allowing us to open our heart to receive what is truly in alignment with us from that heart-based place of authenticity, and also to be in a place of emotional self-empowerment, which is helping us to attract these same things that will bring us that sense of fulfillment. And then with the Seven of Wands as well, I feel like this is saying that it's this sense of emotional empowerment which is helping us to stay in our power and to keep pushing forward, to keep moving forward, and to resist against anything that may be trying to take us out of that place at this point in time, so that we can pursue, this new path, this new journey that is based in creative inspiration and has all of the potential and opportunity to really help us build and grow something that can bring us a brand new sense of emotional fulfillment, physical, tangible, like material security and abundance. But again, with the Ace of Wands on the back, it's this divine inspiration that seems to be orchestrating the entire thing. And again, we are in eclipse season. We did have our new moon in Taurus, in the sign where the North Node is right now, ruling destiny, ruling the hand of God, ruling the path ahead. So it's all, things are being very, very divinely aligned and orchestrated, happening in divine timing right now. We just need to, again, like, follow the aspects, follow the Sabian symbols, release the burden at this point in time, play around with the idea of perhaps experimenting and reinventing ourselves. May upset the status quo a little bit, but we are, getting a view of the whole perspective, the whole spectrum of things. And this may be realigning the ideals of greatness that we wish to grow and embody ourselves as we move forward in this new energy. And, just again, with all of this very fresh, youthful energy, and we have the wands, we have the pentacles, we have the cups. This is to do with our heart and our soul and what we can truly physically manifest in this world, like our passion and our heart center and, what we love, what we desire, and an ability with the Page of Pentacles coming out first to actually grasp onto these opportunities and make something tangible, physical of them. So that's what we got going on for the tarot today. It was a little bit more of a long message, but really boils down to those basic themes, I feel like. Let's grab a synchronicity card now, you guys. See if there's one last bit of advice, wisdom, guidance that God wishes to give to us in conjunction with the astrology that we have going on today. I love these cards so much. They're by Janice Shellman, and they are just bits of wisdom, as I said, wisdom, guidance, and advice that may be beneficial to us. A few just fell out, but it was like 5 of them, and I'm not going to read all the 5 cards. So let's get one specifically that will benefit us as we are navigating this energy today. Okay. Interesting enough, the card that just came out, it says wait. Wait on the Lord and he shall save thee. Proverbs 20:22. Look, there's the 222 again. Oh, interesting. Relax, let go, and let God. Don't struggle to make things happen before they are ready to happen. Wait and be assured everything is working together for your good. Now is not the right time to advance. Wait in faith and expectancy of the very best. Know that when the time comes to advance, you will be directed to say and do the right things. That's one thing I was saying also about this moon in conjunction with Mercury today. We sort of want to be thinking before we speak and not just be like letting whatever impulse comes to us sort of like fly out of our mouth in this energy, because that can be indicated with the planetary placements that we have going on right now. And it's all about this divine timing. Like the ball is ready to go. Like things are ready to sort of switch up and change, but they're going to happen with Uranus and eclipse season and the North Node going on. This Taurus energy, they are going to happen in divine alignment. And that is what this card is saying. This is not the time to start pushing forward. You know, even Venus in the last degree of Pisces say, as I said, Venus will be moving into Aries tomorrow. And this should really be lighting the spark on us pursuing some of these things that we, you know, desire and really want to manifest in this Taurus growth cycle, dreams into reality cycle right now. But today, again, like this is more of this like receptive energy. We're still very much in water and earth signs, the feminine signs, very much about, you know, being able to sit back and to receive. And I feel like that is what this message is saying. Like, especially in the context of everything else, like universe is taking the burden. Like we need to experiment with making these changes and reinventing ourselves, but now is not necessarily the time to jump forth and to take that action. It will be presented to us when the time is right. Things will just sort of fall into place. We have Uranus in effect. Like Uranus is handling things. So, you know, if there is something that you're sort of like itching to like get going in this energy, I mean, this card is saying wait. I would also recommend waiting until Venus moves into Aries before really starting to take any action towards manifesting outside of this more like visualization, imaginative, like idealistic energy that Venus and Pisces has represented. I think that as we move further through this week and get closer to Wednesday, when this activation between Uranus and the Sun becomes exact and Venus is in Aries, that is going to be a much more ignited energy for the changes taking place. But right now, this card is saying wait, and things will happen in divine alignment. We got another 222 going on there in terms of the Proverbs passage that this is coming from. So that's what we got, you guys. Just wait on it a little bit. And today is about receiving this information, receiving these communications, receiving this mental and emotional alignment. And there's a process that is about to start unfolding, and we're sort of prepping for that today in this energy. So that's what we got, you guys, today. The messages from the stars, the messages from the cards. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can bring you some type of valuable guidance, or I don't know, something as you are navigating your day today, navigating these energies. Thank you guys so much for being here. I absolutely love each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you guys for your donations too. Like it really means so much to me. You have no idea. Very much appreciative of that. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. As I said, like, you guys, your support means really everything to me in this pursuit that we are on together right now. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We are going to have more of this energy talk about Sun moving 1 degree closer to Uranus in Taurus, Venus moving into Aries. We're going to have that. I also forgot to say I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff. They are in my description box below if you are interested in any of that. And yeah, as I said, come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We're going to have a lot more astrology to talk about as we are moving towards this big activation of the Sun and Uranus in the sign of Taurus, while Venus will be in Aries. So lots to talk about. You don't want to miss it. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and I will see you then. Bye, guys.